Hello and welcome to another Indie Sunday. Today we're going to be playing The Dark Egg, which is kind of a text-based RPG from what I've understood, and we'll see what that means when we start a new game. When I was young, I heard a story. About an island surrounded by a silver lake. The island was empty, save for an old city. Its people were lost and hungry, and when they cried for help, there was no answer. But then, from the heavens, came the many eyes of grace, who gave an answer. Salvation arrived on winged creatures, speaking in tongues that aged men. They taught many secret things and what mind was. Their gifts took away mankind's faults and replaced them with eyes of grace. The island was blessed. Everyone was made right. The city was made better. Its sun was consumed. The city was made into memory, living words in eternity. Screams faded, and none came back from the island. Most leave the island alone, except for those seeking its greatest treasure. An egg from the heavens, unspoilt and perfect, resting in the womb of the old city. A thing that will grant any wish you desire. A thing that I must get. And that is our premise. You've awoken to the rocking of a ship. You can't remember how many days it has been. They said it would only take half a day to get to the island. Even the ferryman said so. But the ferryman has not moved from his spot since you got on this boat. He simply stares forward into a white mist with no island in sight. The sound of waves surrounds you and nothing else. So what do you have here? Got day 1 at 4 p.m. Weather is windy. Got 20 health. If you reach 0, you die. Seems reasonable. Energy of 20 decreases over time as you walk around and perform actions. Okay. And sanity decreases when you are terrified but slowly recovers over time. Oh. Low sanity causes side effects. And trauma increases when sanity reaches 0. Worsens the effects of low sanity. Trauma never recovers. Do not reach 100. That's a challenge. Okay, oh. Apparently scrolling with the mouse wheel does something. I'm not quite sure what it does. I guess it moves, like, towards the top left. No idea why. Silver Lake. Right, ferryman. Or look for the island. I don't think the ferryman is going to talk to us. So let's look for the island. You peer over the boat and see rushing water. It is a relief to know the boat is going somewhere. You, like the ferryman, simply stare out into the mist-covered waters. There is no island in sight. Check your bag. You open your bag just beneath your feet. It is drenched by the mist and splash of the waves around you. The contents are nothing special. Here you were told would help you on the island. Many assured you there would be a town near the seashore when you arrived. You're not so sure anymore. Let's take inventory of our supplies. A good explorer always knows what he carries. We have a small knife equipped. Got a compass you brought to help navigate alongside your map. Wait, where is your map? 2 recovery potions restore 15 health each, and a climbing rope. Good for a few uses. Okay, 30 gold, 6 attack, 5 defense. We've got 6 attack in our inventory, alright. Though you remember bringing a map of the island, you can't seem to find it in your bag. Maybe it fell out? Search for your map. It's here. Found it. You find your map on the floor of the ferry and pick it up. While you're no sailor yourself, it isn't completely foreign to you. The map is wet to the touch. Still hopeful, you open it, but find its contents unreadable anymore. The ink runs. It appears you'll need to draw a new one as you go. You place the map in your bag near your compass and notice the dial spinning erratically. Pulling it out, you try to hold it steady. The dial only grows more wild. Upon hearing a rustle from the front of the boat, you look up from your bag. The ferryman has turned from the misty waters. He stares at you with dull eyes. Ocean mist drips from his pale chin. You feel his gaze on you. Alright, we'll talk to him now. You give a quick hello to the ferryman. His face remains expressionless. Black eyes stare directly at yours. We've passed the normal waters. Is that so? Indeed. You'll be docking soon. I won't go to shore. I'm sure you know. I never go to shore. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Of course. The ferryman turns from you and stares back out over the ocean waves. To your relief, you begin to see a land emerge from the white mist. Yeah, we'll try to get a closer look. The shoreline is decorated in yellow lights, and as the boat gets closer, a silhouette of a dark, wet town appears before you. The lights seem to dance in mist and rain. Where's my mouse? There it is. Okay, we can't click on it, but there is something there. It is the harbour. Oh, it is the harbour. Best be quiet when you get to shore. The ferryman whispers. Should I be worried? Caution is wise, but I don't know how much it will help you on that island. The ferryman replies weakly. We'll be aboard in a moment. Best to sit down. Alright, we'll do that. You sit where your bag rests. The cold splashes of water pepper your numbing face. You let out a breath and see mist in front of you. Is it getting colder? We'll prepare to dock. Well, we can open the items menu. There is now a map and compass. Cannot be used here. Okay. Out of curiosity. No, I don't want to unequip it. Never mind. Well, maybe I could use it. Attack the ferryman. I don't know. Just thinking if it's an option. Prepare to dock. The ferryman raises his hand, and as he does so, the boat slows. The boat twists and turns as if 4 men are piloting it. You remember that there was a crew in this boat when you first set off. There was a crew, wasn't there? The boat comes to a halt, and beside the boat you see a worn dockway. Best of luck to whatever it is you're searching for, stranger. You look to the ferryman and are surprised to find he is not at the head of the boat any longer. That is strange, he was there a moment ago. You look around but do not find him anywhere. It is only you, and there is only the dock. A small layer of snow covers it. You step off the boat and your feet press into the snow. Light rain begins to pepper your face as you walk into the town. I saw we just got 15 experience. I don't see any kind of level system or anything, but maybe that's just in the background and we shall not know. Rain and snow pelt against your body. The harsh wind claws at your face. You realize now that you're far underprepared for what is to come. The town is quiet and the street lamps glow a dim yellow in the winds around you. Not a soul is in sight, but as you walk forward, you hear the laughter of a man to your right. Near him is a small shop. Your footsteps splash in the road. Okay, there's a street. There's a shop. Well, we can talk to the strange man. You approach the man, apprehensive. His laughs continue to echo through the roads as if amplified by something. No one else is around, and you notice the man has no smile on his face. You greet him and ask him if he knows where anyone else is. The laughter stops. He turns his face toward you, but does not meet your eyes. His gaze lies beyond you, a pale face without life. His eyes reflect nothing. There is no one else. There is just you. The man turns from you and walks away. He shortly begins to laugh again, growing quieter as he vanishes from your view. Your footsteps splash in the road. I'll enter the shop. You walk up to the small shop and open the door, getting out of the rain quickly. The inside is a good deal warmer than out there. Lining the walls rests all kinds of goods, from small vials to books and art. Centered at the back is a large wooden countertop. Behind the counter sits a pale bearded man, and behind him a wall. From his seat he towers over you, just slightly. His eyes are nearly closed and he appears amused at your presence. Hardly haven't had visitors in a long time, he chuckles. But then again, perhaps you aren't a visitor at all. What are you here for? Let's see your equipment. You ask the man if he has any equipment to help you on your journey. He motions toward the back of the shop. As you walk, you find racks of various clothing, some with fur, others with various embellishments. You realize most of it is commonwear, and unfortunately not very helpful for what you plan to do. You think you can't use any of it? The man asks after a moment. He looks you up and down. You do have a fine piece of leather on you, but armor isn't everything out there. He points to a thick coat near you. The cold can be just as deadly as the creatures, if not more so. I've seen many experts of the sword freeze before they made even a single swing. You look through the various clothing the shop has to offer. I do not have 40 gold, therefore I cannot afford the winter coat, even though I would have bought it if I could. What kind of potions do you have? Take a look at the man's potion supply, but find it rather barren. Don't carry much more than the essentials here, the man says. Not many visitors means not many buyers either. Still, you're welcome to take a look around. You look through a small group of vials stacked on a shelf. A big blast potion, throw for an emergency, explodes on impact. I mean, you know what? Sure, we're buying it. Alright, then we'll exit the shop. And we'll continue walking down the road. It's always good to have something for emergencies. As you follow a trail of wind and rain through the town, you walk empty streets lined with yellow lights and past buildings with no people. The weather worsens as the road opens up a bit, to houses on one side and a chapel on the other. You see what looks to be people. But as you get closer, you notice they make no sound. All of them care not for the rain, letting it fall on their pale skin. Their black eyes stare at nothing. They walk from street to street, building to building, without pause and without emotion. 1 second. None turn to you as you walk by. You stand in the center of the road, blank faces passing you by. The chapel appears empty. We could go back to the streets, talk to a passerby, explore the back alleys, enter the chapel, knock on a nearby house, or continue past the town to the overlook. Talking to the people seems to be a fruitless endeavor at this point. Exploring the back alley seems dangerous. Let's go to the chapel. The chapel is quiet. The floors, walls, and ceilings are tiled with glossed black stone. Between the stones rests worn white grout. Pictures of people and the harbour line the walls, and lanterns rest in all four corners of the large room. In its center lies an altar. On it is a dark egg. You feel the egg calling to you. Inspect it. You walk up to the egg, passing rows of empty pews along your way. At the altar, you notice 4 pedestals surrounding the egg, each with a lit beacon. Maybe I'm hungry? No, I'm not. A faint glow surrounds the egg. We won't be able to touch the egg. Check the pedestals. You go toward one of the pedestals and notice that from each one extrudes out a glowing barrier of sorts. Nearly invisible, it's likely a dangerous trap meant to protect the egg. The 4 pedestals are lit and the barrier protects the egg. Go around to the back of the altar. You step around to the back of the altar. The 4 pedestals are lit and the barrier protects the egg. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. Right, check the left pedestal. I hope that doesn't mean touch it, just check it. You examine the left pedestal and notice a switch beneath its beacon. You try to press it and hear a click. The beacon switches off with a low hum, the barrier dimming with it. Sparks fly from the other 3 beacons towards the edges of the chapel. One goes to the pictures, another to a large stained glass window, and the third to the back of the chapel. After a moment, the pedestals rest once more. 3 pedestals around the egg are lit. The barrier protects the egg. Check the pictures lining the wall. On the side of the chapel are various pictures, spaced out across the entire wall. You approach the first and scan past each one, noting their contents. You'll need to look more closely to find anything. Look at the picture of the harbor. You see an eagle-eyed view of the harbor, only it is a beautiful day and filled with blue. Around the town are small blots of people and color, unlike anything you've seen in your brief stay. The warmth of the scene radiates from the painting. The layout of the harbor, even individual buildings, are identical to the real thing. Perhaps this is a recent work. You can even make out the small shop you passed along your way. Someone is walking into it. Wait, as you scan past the shop, something catches your eye. You peer closer and see an odd grey blotch. It's the man you talked to, the laughing man. You make eye contact. You recoil, but then he's gone. In his place is a blurry smudge on an empty street. Yeah, -1 sanity. You need to look more closely, okay. Look at the picture of the great city. A beautiful city space covers the picture, surrounding a large town square. The architecture is some of the finest you've seen. In the center of the town square rests something large. Everyone is looking at it, surrounding it. A creature? It becomes increasingly abstract toward the center. You can't tell what you're supposed to be looking at. It looks like it's breathing. You'll need to look more closely, okay? And then let's look at the picture of the dark egg. The dark egg stands in all its glory in the center of the frame. At each corner is an angel, arms outstretched and holding a cloth they aim to drape over the egg. Behind the egg, in the distance, you see the same scene again. The brightness of the egg contrasts its name. Its brilliance seems to glow off the ink. You feel like you can understand the praises the angels sing of it. In truth, you've never been more certain of its power and of your goal. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a small switch right by the painting. Was that always there? You reach out and flick the switch and hear an echoing click behind you. You turn and see one of the 4 beacons has dimmed away. The barrier weakens. Alright, barrier is even harder to see now. Right, let's check the large window. You follow one of the sparks towards a stained glass window lining the chapel's wall. It depicts 2 wide wings surrounding a mess of the colored panes without any real form. Despite the cloudy weather, light still shines through, tracing the floor. You can hear the rain pattering against the glass. Nothing in the window moves, and yet every time you look back, you swear the colors are different. Check the floor where the light shines. The patterns made on the floor seem suspicious. When you get close, you notice a grid marked with lines and dots. The light touches only specific dots. The light hitting the dot crawls through the lines connected. It seems you can move the lines around. I'm not quite sure I understand. I see. A second grid sits right of the first. Blocks get in the way. So I move this here. Ah, wait. I can move the blocks as well. Wait, can I can't move that. I can move... Oh, right, I see that's also a block that I need to get out of the way. Never mind. I can do that. Okay, I need to click over there first. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, I can only move it one at a time, I see. The third grid sits right of the first, with some spots missing. Not just... Okay. With a click, the third pattern lights up. Soon after, the light from beyond the glass vanishes, and the patterns dull down to just scratches in the floor again. The ring continues to patter outside. When you turn around, you see one less lit pedestal around the egg. Alright, then let's head to the back of the chapel. At the back of the chapel, the lights are dim. The roof slides down as you near the edge, squeezing the room. The space is mostly empty, though there are various objects and furniture strewn about. You notice various books at one corner and a closet nearby, in the other a piano. The floor is a mess, but not a speck of dust is in sight. Check the piano. You find a rather beautiful piano, despite its dust. Its entire body has a lovely wooden sheen, and the ivory keys sit eager to be played. Piano waits. You're not really sure what to play, but you play all the same. Okay. I guess we have to check something else first. Check the closet. You open up the closet and find it deeper than you first thought. Far, far deeper, though you're certain the chapel wasn't this long from the outside. Was it? It's dark. You feel around for a light switch and find one, pressing it. Immediately candles begin lighting a narrow hallway, row by row. On both sides of the hallway stand mannequins. Their faces are blank, save for two black holes where eyes should be. Can we just turn around? They all turn to you. They stare. 4 of them say leave, 1 says forward. You know what? We'll leave for now. We'll check the books first. If there's nothing in the books, we know we'll go through the closet. But I would rather not, because our sanity will suffer for it. You go to pick up the books, opening them as you do. You quickly find they are all in a language you do not understand. You place them on a nearby shelf. Okay, never mind then. Off we go. Forward. You creep past the mannequins, slowly and without a sound. They do not move. And yet when you turn around, the ones behind you have turned their heads. Their eyes bore into you. You ignore the mannequins and press on. The hallway is endless. The mannequins are endless and everything looks the same. They're tiring. But thankfully, as you keep moving through the rows of heads, you stumble upon what seems to be the very same door you came in from. There's something attached to the door. Sheet music? You suppose it's time to get out of here. The only question is how to leave. I am curious. This is the same door, right? Tentatively, you go to open the door in front of you. Nothing looks out of place. This is the same door, you're sure of it. But when you pull the door, you find it locked. You'll have to back down the hallway. You turn around and aren't even surprised to find a mannequin staring at you once more. You scurry back through the hallway, going as quickly as possible. It would be best not to come back here again. I agree. Alright, let's look at the sheet music. Faded sheet music for a piano. Why was it stuck to the wall? Okay, So I gotta go to the piano. Yeah, you find the piano's music desk to be rather small, just large enough for a single page. Can I use it here? No? Alright. Placing the sheet music you found inside the closet, it unfolds and fits beautifully, as if it were there the whole time. Always there, always meant to be there. Piano waits. The sheet music lays in front of you. It seems it's just a simple scale. Okay, so it is a simple scale. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have an 8th note, do we? Oops. No, not that. Ah. Don't know why, but sure. As soon as you press the final key, a click is heard behind you and the piano goes silent. You turn around and find one of the 4 pedestals has turned off. All 4 pedestals are unlit. The barrier is gone and so is the egg? You wonder if your eyes are playing a trick on you. Stepping up to the altar where the barrier used to be, you can see as clear as day, the egg is gone. You feel the altar looking for it. Perhaps it's been hidden? Try as you might, you find nothing about the egg. You are surprised, however, to find metal beneath your hand. You check your hand and find a key. You're not sure where the egg went, but this key could come in handy. What could it be for? Wasn't there another door in the chapel? Yes. Right? We'll go back into the closet. Creep past the mannequin slowly and without sound. Yes. You've done this walk before, but that doesn't mean you like it. You've arrived at the end once again. Tentatively, you go to open the door in front of you. Yeah. Steeling yourself, you unlock the door and creak it open to what looks like the back of the chapel. Only, something seems off. This is the chapel? Or is it? Inspect the altar in the chapel center. Go to the altar in the center and find a stone resting on it instead of the egg. Bizarrely, the barrier has returned, or perhaps this is a different barrier, a different altar altogether? This time the beacons the pedestals hold are all turned off. Testing one of the pedestals, you find the switches they hold are working this time around, only they are a bit unpredictable. A press on one turns on some lights, a press on the other turns them off. At least they are consistent. The stone shimmers behind the barrier, and some pedestals stand unlit. You're not sure what that stone is, but it's a purer black than what paves this chapel. Attempt to open the barrier. The pedestals rest, their beacons unlit. What would pressing their switches do? You hear a click, but the lights shut off. The switches are behaving differently too. That's still... wait. Yeah, I thought so. It's just the same thing, press everything once. Another click, but the pedestals shut off again. One locks with a barrier. It will need to be lit and unlocked. Okay, this unlocks it. Right, and then this. Wait. Gaze it. Alright, I see. Yeah, this. Then this. No. But this is what I need to do. And then... Wait, so... This... I see how it is, yeah. This. There we go. The pedestals roar to life and finally quench the barrier. With a low drone, it vanishes from view as all 4 pedestals stand with lit beacons. All that's left is to grab the stone. Can I grab the stone? Ah, there we go. A soul stone. A deep black stone with an undulling sheen. It can be used in many ways, but once used it will vanish. Choose wisely. Okay. This is the chapel? Attempt to open the chapel's doors. You go to open the chapel's doors but find them locked. Your key doesn't work. What about the window? You turn to where the window would be and find pictures instead. The other side of the chapel holds no window, only a flat wall of black stone. In fact, it dawns on you that there are no windows here, not even small ones. And the pictures? Heading over to the chapel's gallery, you find each picture is distorted. For some reason it's impossible to tell why they are wrong, but you can feel they are wrong. Fundamentally, the colors, the setting, it's all wrong. You feel disgusted and have to turn away. Alright, I guess we'll go back through the closet. Prize in hand, you decide it's time to head back. You turn back and open the closet, finding the long hallway once more. Only one thing left to do. You walk down the hallway wondering if what you saw was just a dream, but the shimmering stone in your hand gently says otherwise. The floor is a mess, but oh yeah, right. Go back to the chapel hall and then exit it. Alright, you know what, let's talk to a passerby. You call out to one of the people walking past, but they ignore you. You try again, only to fail again. Not a single one turns their head. Alright, we'll give up. And we'll knock on a nearby house. You knock on the door of a nearby home. Come in, you hear. You open the door and walk inside the house. On your left rests a calming fire, and close to it a man in a wheelchair. His face is tired, eyes black. He turns to you and smiles. Oh, a guest? Come, get warm by the fire. You start toward the jovial man. Why, I can't remember the last time we've had a guest. How is it out there? The rain doesn't seem to be doing you many favors. He chuckles, looking back into the fire. Well, you can rest here as long as you need. My wife has always been a great hostess, but she's out at the moment. A shame you can't meet her. You take a seat next to the man and he suddenly turns to you. Say, did you happen to see my wife and daughter on your way? You were supposed to go for my medicine. You tell the man you didn't see anyone. He nods and leans back with a distant look. Ah well, they should be back any moment, I'm sure of it. Is there something you wanted to talk about? The weather. The weather? He turns to you amused. What's to say about it? It won't get sunny anytime soon if that's what you're asking. The man chortles. No, it won't get sunny. If you're planning to venture out much further, make sure you're prepared. The cold is vicious out there. Vicious. My wife is strict about keeping bundled up. Is there something... Ask about the chapel. The man leans back in his chair when you ask him about the chapel. Ah, the old chapel. Such a lovely structure, isn't it? Say, have you seen the inside? You tell him you have. The old man gives a smile. Yes, beautiful, isn't it? The artwork especially. I know my daughter loves those pictures the most. I still remember when the folk around here used to actually visit the old thing. He stares off in thought. If I'm not mistaken, it was built back when people were first coming to this island. It was for the egg, the dark egg. They really worshipped that thing back then. The man lets out a snort. What am I even saying? They still do, and who could blame them? Not like there's much else around here. Why, it's the only thing that brings people to this island anymore. The man's belly rolls with each heaving laugh. Is there something you wanted to talk about? Yeah, let's ask about the chapel's dark egg. You ask the man about the dark egg in the chapel. Oh, that old monument. It's a convincing replica, yes. But really, it's nothing like the real thing when you get close to it. It's nothing. Nothing like it, you know? The man grips the arms of his chair. It lacks the feeling, right? You know, right? He turns to you, eyes wide. It's nothing, right? Just a goddamn fake. He spits out. The feeling it gives. The promises it makes. The lies it tells. That fake filth is nothing to the egg. We'll leave now if that's alright with you. Thank you for the rest at the fire that apparently didn't restore our energy or sanity, which I'm disappointed about. Well, he said it was viciously cold outside of town, so let's explore the back alleys. In the back alley, the rain is unable to reach. It is far more quiet. Snow still falls steadily, and near the end of the alleyway rests a woman and her child. Yeah, I know who you are. Oh, frozen and dead. Their faces hold sadness and hope, and before them rests an offering box. You notice that the woman has a coat you could wear. It wouldn't do her any good. Can I only offer gold coins because I have none? You approach the offering box in front of them. It's a small, worn little thing, but its wood casing is sturdy. Religious symbols, creatures of some kind, adorn the outside, as well as a child's small doodles. You grab what few coins you have and toss them into the box. I have none. You hear a rattle inside, then silence. You look toward the woman and girl, back to the box, and pick it up. You place it in the mother's palm and close your hand around it. For a brief moment, you wonder if her palm is warm. When you stand up to walk out, your foot pushes against something soft. You look down and notice an abandoned coat. It looks unworn. Oh, you stand in the center of the road, blank faces passing you by. We have it equipped already. A thick coat for the cold. Has a soft inside. Right, we'll go. You know what? We'll visit the old man's house again. And the old man, you knock on the door and the old man calls for you to come in. He turns to greet you but pauses, a bittersweet smile gracing his face. Hey, that coat, it reminds me of my daughter. I don't know why, but it does. They'll return, won't they? Yes, I'm sure of it. They're out there still. They're always out there, watching. You'd love them, stranger. Oh, you would. So kind, those two. So very kind, even to an old monster like me. If you sit a while longer, I'm sure they'll return and you can meet them. The old man gives a crinkling smile. There's something you wanted to talk about? No. We'll continue past the town. You continue up the path, climbing a small hill. The bitter wind gets worse with every step. As the hill plateaus, you reach the edge of a large cliffside, overlooking a massive chasm. Up ahead is the ruined city. Cold gates rest in front of the city, walls surrounding it as far as the eye can see. They hold strong even after their many years. You can see a palpable fog over the city. It seems to cling to it. A trail leads down toward the city gate, growing more snow-filled as it goes. Opposite to it lies a flat trail toward what appears to be a small log cabin. Lanterns light the way. Nearby, a knight in black armor stands, overlooking the ruin below. We'll talk to the knight. You approach the knight. He is covered head to toe in sleek black armor, leaving nothing exposed. His sword sticks into the ground in front of him, and his hands rest on its hilt. He doesn't turn, but when you come close, he speaks before you can. So, you've come. I'm not sure why I'm surprised. He speaks strangely, as if familiar of you. Do you know me? I know you're here to claim the egg. You know there are many of you, right? Don't think you're unique in your journey. The knight gestures toward the ruined city with his head. How many of you do you think I see go into that city? How many do you think I've seen come back out? The knight's form sags ever so slightly. Where are you looking? The knight stands silent. You wonder if maybe he didn't hear you. But then he responds. That mist above the city clings to the ruins like it's alive, he says. It's something I noticed a long time ago. It isn't natural. You can even see the edges of it whisk away as soon as it gets too far from the walls. You follow his gaze to the ruins' edges and see he's right. The mist stops just past the borders, clinging to the city alone. The knight clutches the hilt of his sword tighter. When you plan to go in there, you should be prepared. This place, your egg, it isn't what it seems. He turns toward you, but you already know that. Do I know you? The knight turns to you, water glistening along his helmet. You see only black through the cracks. He studies you for a brief moment before responding. No, I don't think you do. The knight turns back to the city. You say goodbye to the knight and turn to leave, but he stops you. Wait, he says. I think you should have this before you go. I know you're planning to enter the ruins. I know nothing will stop you either. But when it goes to hell, maybe this time I'll see one of you come out of there. We'll walk toward the cabin. Its trail calm and flat. You pass odd lumps, rocks maybe, as you go. The closer you get, the larger you realize the cabin is. And soon, you see a sign. Faded and chipped, that simply says Inn. The lumps grow more numerous. Upon closer inspection, you realize they are frozen bodies, wet with rain. They stretch their arms toward the inn. Standing outside the inn, bodies lay strewn everywhere. It's quiet. The lights are on inside. Inspect the frozen bodies. You edge closer to one of the frozen people. They look to be locked in time from the cold. You look around to men, women, even children strewn along the pathway. As you look from person to person, you find them all reaching directly toward the door of the inn. Some with one hand outstretched, others with both. Some use their weapons, their bags, even their face if they had nothing else. A chill runs down your spine and you soon stop looking. You manage to find some spare gold lying around in the meantime. Considering that, I'm not sure if we want to go towards the inn. Did we actually find gold? Because it says we still have 0 gold. Alright, let's enter the inn. You walk inside the inn, the warmth kissing your face. A counter flanked by 2 sets of stairs lies centered in front of you, with a fire crackling gently in the corner. The room is constricted otherwise, tight wooden walls safe for the fireplace. The room is not even a fraction the size of what you saw outside. The man behind the counter looks up at you. He beckons you to come closer. It only takes a few steps. Another traveler, I see, he says. Come to rest your wearied body. It's cold out there, no? He looks back toward one of the stairwells. I've seen many travelers come and go through this inn of mine. Some young and filled with spirit, others old enough to know better, but no matter the reason for your journey, I can guarantee rest here for when you need it. Should things ever become too dire out there, he continues, I imagine you might well wake up here again. After all, no matter the nightmare, it is just a nightmare after all, isn't it? The man looks down at something on his desk, but you cannot see it. He begins to write. Now tell me, traveler, why have you come here? If you wish to sleep, just enter up the stairs, either one. If you'd rather a short rest, the fireplace has room for more. The firelight dances across the room. There are a few windows where rain and snow patter outside. It feels safe. You know what, we'll sleep. We'll wait for day 2. You begin to ask about the cost of a room, but the innkeeper stops you. You don't need coin if you just wish to rest. It costs us nothing. But, he adds as you begin walking the stairs, if you wish to change yourself, that will always cost you, as much as it costs anyone else. You decide to ignore the cryptic comment. Perhaps it will make more sense in the future. After climbing the stairs, you find yourself between rows of countless rooms down a long straight hall. Though you hadn't been given a key, you find one in your hand. Its tag says 8. The hallway isn't lit, only the light from the staircase illuminates the path. Each and every room you pass says it's occupied, though you see no light coming from any door. You approach the door labelled 8, only vaguely able to see it with the weakening light. Your key slots in perfectly and you gently open the door. A lantern lights the room when you walk in. You see a bed and an orb? Feel the orb pulling you. The orb is a rather curious shade of greyish purple, standing by the side of the bed. You've never seen anything like it. It appears dull, but as you near it, colours become vibrant and bright. You reach your hand out and feel a warmth emanating from its surface. You touch the orb and feel your eyelids grow heavy. You close them and see yourself in a way you've never seen before. Oh. Well, we have 0 skill points out of 6, apparently. Or does that mean we can allocate 6 skill points and haven't done any yet? Alright, I can scroll. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Wow. Right. I mean, most of them seem to be just stat boosts, but there's actions as well. MP cost. Alright. That's a skill tree. Well, it's not really a tree, but... I guess these ones are the ones I already have unlocked. This isn't important in this version of the game. Alright, the inventory's lost don't matter right now, apparently. What can we do? Probably grant 2 combat defense is not bad. You do not have enough skill points. Okay, so I genuinely don't have any skill points, do I? Oh, I can take things away as well. That is interesting. So I could just say, alright, I don't need agility or intelligence, put it into energy. That's an interesting system. Where you can basically freely allocate any of your skills anytime you get to an inn. I mean, it's nothing new, I suppose, but it's not the norm either. Don't save changes. We're fine. Oh, I can do it anytime, even not only in the inn. Or does it only show me the skills menu when I'm in the inn? I don't know. Wait. Oh, there's the coins that were strewn about. I had to pick them up. Alright. Don't know how they ended up here, considering I found them outside, but that's fine. A lantern lights the room with a soft yellow. You find yourself in your room at the inn. Sleep until the morning. You remove your outer garments and get into bed. The light dims away as you do. Your eyes grow heavy and you drift off into sleep. And that's where we'll end this Indie Sunday. I've enjoyed this quite a bit. Why are we getting up at 5? I guess we went to sleep at like 6:30. It makes sense to get up at 5 for that. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, I've enjoyed the game quite a lot. Why is this still shining? I don't know. Well, for the 13 gold coins, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's still, I think it's still in its alpha phase, kind of. And getting constant updates. So yeah, I can definitely see myself looking back into this at another point in the future. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching as well. Thanks for doing so, and I hope I'll see you guys again next time. Till then, bye.